Welcome to another episode of the Elevated Barbers podcast. My name is Bradford Kelly. I am the co-host of Elevated Barbers podcast. We're here with Delmar, the royal one, the prince himself. I am the owner of Another Level of Barbering, and if you don't know about it, go check it out. And if you don't know about Delmar, go ahead and introduce yourself.
This is Delmar, aka the Prince, here with my co-host Bradford Kelly of the Elevated Barbers podcast. Let's start the show.
All right, so today we are going to get into some real good business talk because me and Delmar
Yay,
was
yay.
able to take a business challenge together.
That's right.
And as entrepreneurs, we have to understand that we own businesses. As barbers, we own a business and we have to always try to grow in business. And I was really, really happy that I was able to suggest this challenge to Delmar for his business and his own personal growth. And I told him that I was getting in it myself because I'm trying to grow and do some more things. And so what we're going to do today is kind of speak about some of the areas that we learned about, but I want to do it from this angle, D, is the fact that a lot of barbers don't understand business, like just straight up business stuff. And because we don't understand business, we will never be able to behave like that. And we will also never be able to reap the rewards of what a business is for. And so a lot of this challenge had to do with you being able to not be stuck as being self-employed, but how to build a business that is built around creating freedom in your life. And for me, and you can tell me what your definition is of freedom is, Delmar, but for me, my definition of freedom is more on the side of financial freedom. Like freedom is the autonomy for you to be able to make decisions. And we do that just by having our barber's license. We can choose what time we're going to come to work. We can choose what days we're going to work. We can choose what services we're going to provide. We choose all of these things. We have the freedom to do that. We have the freedom to leave work if we want to, just because we got something else we want to do. We have freedom. We really have that. What we don't have is financial freedom. And financial freedom is for you to be able to do what you want when you want to without the consequences of finances. Like you don't have to feel the pain of what we deal with in this industry, which is like not having paid time off, not having retirement, not having benefits, all of these different things that we don't get in this industry. We have to build a freedom in that space because that's what keeps us stuck behind the chair. So for me, that's what freedom is. Delmar, what is freedom for you? How would you describe it?
No, Brad, you hit it right on the nail. Like I agree completely that for me, freedom is being financially free. It's not about having a whole bunch of money in the bank, although that would be nice. But the biggest thing is to be free of debt, to be financially free and be financially stable. Because if you are financially stable, financially free, then it allows you to have your time back. And we spend
Yeah.
so much time in our business trying to make money, but because of course, the line of work that we're in, if you're not at work, you're not making any money unless you have something that you do on the side that is making you passive or residual income. But
Yeah.
if this is your main job, then if you're a stylist, barber, you have to be at work to earn your dollars.
And that's what we actually are trying to all learn how to do is not get stuck behind that chair. That's real life. And it takes a mature person to even understand that, D, because when you first get in this industry, you are not thinking about not being behind the chair, right? You're trying to think about how in the world can I be as booked as I possibly can be
Hmm.
so that I can make as much money as I can. And then once you reach that success, you realize that success has now trapped you and you can't take off when you want to because too many people want to see you. You can't take off when you want to because if you don't make that money, you can't pay those bills. You can't take
Hmm.
off when you want to because as much as you will want to take off and enjoy yourself, you will also be conscious of the money that you're not making because you're there spending money at that same time. So that's why you want to care about business. You want to care about business because a business is supposed to allow you to grow into freedom. And through this challenge, Delmar, I was able to hone in on how I want to personally help other barbers, is to hone in on what you said, is being able to create passive income. Because once I realized that I was doing that, or I had went down that road, I did not realize how beneficial it was until certain things happen where life changes, things go on, your bills may increase, or you may not have the same amount of income coming from the work that you're doing. And you like, man, how in the world am I going to survive? And COVID was a very good wake up call for me. And different other things that have happened since COVID has been like an enlightenment for me. So
Brad,
now, oh, what?
before we no, this is
I'm on the
good.
road. You know this is
This
my like passion,
yeah,
bro. So go ahead. I'm
this
sorry. Go
this
ahead.
this is good. No, I just want to insert that how important it is to have business knowledge and understand business, because I know for me, I was licensed. I got my license in 2011. I started really working in shops in 2012, but my whole focus was I got to be the best. I got to make money. But I didn't understand what to do with money.
Mhm.
So from 2012 into 2020, actually up until the pandemic, that was my mindset, just trying to be the GOAT. What is what is that going to get you? Like, who cares? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you do want
yeah,
to be good, you do want to perform at your best, but why you competing with other people trying to compete for a title of being the greatest? And there's a
yeah,
lot of other barbers out here who might not be that good, but their numbers are up. They
yeah,
understand business. They understand marketing. Like, they understand the things that they need to survive and to get from behind the chair, so that they're not stuck behind the chair forever for 30, 40, 50 years. They actually
yeah.
have an exit strategy. And in
Or
2020,
or to complement what you're saying, or they can do it because they want to, not because they have to.
because they have to,
You know
right?
what I mean?
And it's a
So yeah,
difference. It's a different type of love when versus when you have to do it. You ain't 100% happy going to work every day. I don't care how passionate you are about cutting hair. There's gonna be
yeah,
moments where you're like, man, I gotta go to work today.
yep,
Versus you have that financial freedom and that financial stability to where it's like, I get to go to work today.
yeah,
I love cutting hair. You go to the
yeah,
shop and cut 3, 4 hairs and be good off of that, because you're not totally relying on business, because barbering, because you set your business up in a way to where you can make money in the business and off of your business.
yeah, yeah. So, all right, let's not keep ranting. Let's talk about this challenge and some of the things that we kind of got out of the challenge. So the challenge was a 5-day challenge. We took
Mhm.
it. It took about 2 hours out of each of our day. We were able to be in a environment where we were able to be around some top level C executives. I mean, CEOs, CFOs, CMOs, all of these different people that run real businesses. Like when I say real business, I mean like they're up there in the millions, like they're running $1 million businesses. And so we are, little old me, little old you, and we're able to tap into a situation very affordable, like very affordable, and get inside of a room where we could get business questions answered, because we have problems that we need to be solved. And every business should have problems that you want to be solved. Am I right, D?
Mhm. That's right.
Like if you're not trying to solve a problem, that means that you're not trying to make more money.
Right.
So you should be having some type of problem that you're trying to solve so that you can increase your income and therefore increase your potential for financial freedom. So anyways, we get to this to this run my business challenge, and it's put on by Michael E. Parker and his company called You Are a CEO. If you haven't checked it out, please go and check it out. We will have a link in the description so that you can have more information about the run my business challenge if you ever wanted to do it yourself. So they broke it up into 5 days, and we're going to talk about the impact that each of these days kind of had on us and some of the things that we kind of took away from it. But we can't give you too many details, because if you want to take the challenge, you really will have to see your own business in that environment and be able
And it's
to. Oh, go ahead.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's very beneficial. Like, when Brad told me about it, and he said he was doing it. I kind of was playing around with the idea of doing it, but after being in it, I could not afford to miss that because it just totally
Yeah.
rearranged how I thought about business.
Yeah. All right. So let's go into day one. So day one was about clarity and strategy. So what do you remember, if you can, what was one of the biggest takeaways that you got from the clarity and strategy day?
The biggest thing that I take away from day one was when he presented the question, or it wasn't a question, but it was a statement of we have to get out of our mind how we view money. And he
Mm,
said, what was it? Help me remember. I think it was cost versus investment.
yes.
So,
Yes.
for instance, this course, the challenge, the challenge was X amount of dollars, right? And you can look at it and say, man, this cost me this much money. But what would it cost you? What would it cost your business if you didn't invest that money into this? Because it was an investment. It wasn't an expense. It was an investment. It was something that I can learn from based off the experience of somebody who's been in business for 20 plus years on a top tier level. And he's given us gems and he's given us game on how to properly structure a business. He wasn't talking just to barbers or stylists. He was talking to the entrepreneur. He was
Yeah.
talking to the businesses. And I took away so much from just the first day. Like my mind was blown because everything that I thought I knew about business, being in business that I've been in business for the past 9 years as a business owner. Everything that I thought I knew, I had to completely forget it
Mm.
because it had no structure to it. It was no organization to it.
Yeah. It's like some of the stuff you realize that it was based on your emotion. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like it was
You was
based on
winging
like
it.
you winging it. Yeah. And you don't know the details to think about. You
Hmm.
just know that you want to make some money, you know? So yeah, I agree with you. Day one was super good. For me, gave me a lot of clarity on who I was talking to. When
Hmm.
they began to talk about the way to understand how to market, ah, D, D, that changed the game for me, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get into educating, right? I'm trying to get into the education space for barbers and trying to teach them how to convert business knowledge into barbering, how to bridge the gap so that you can make your barbering business a means for financial freedom.
Hmm.
Like that's my goal, is to help as many barbers that want that, if a person cares about financial freedom, for them to be able to use my journey that I've gone through to use it as a benchmark for themselves.
Hmm.
But I couldn't quite get who I was talking to. Like I was thinking,
Right.
I'm talking to all the barbers,
Right.
and now you'll start to see in my posts, and you'll start to see on what I'm building. You'll start to see that I'm very, very specific now with who I'm talking to, and it has everything to do with the Run My Business Challenge. It gave me clarity, and it gave me ability to start to strategize.
Yeah, it did the same for me, Brad, because social media is a great tool if you use
Yeah,
it properly, especially Instagram. Um, but we make posts, we posting our work, but we really not targeting anybody. So it's like after, especially when you asked your question, like it gave me some more insight too on just be clear who you are talking to.
yeah. I like the fact that we were able to be around other entrepreneurs in different spaces. You don't realize
Hmm.
how valuable it is for you to be able to reap the benefits of hearing an answer given to somebody else's question, because you may not even know that you have the same question, or it
Hmm.
may apply to you but just in a different way, but you got some free game on it. So
Right.
that environment, man, super good.
Super
Super
good.
good. Now day 2. Day 2 was talking about business models, bro. Another one that's right up my alley, man. It's right up my alley. So business models, they were sharing in this course strategies behind business models.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about the three business models that I reference that's not a part of the run my business challenge, but it's the ones that I reference is you got your quantity based business
Mm-hmm.
model, you got your quality based business model, and then you have your experience based business model. And so that's what I kind of speak about, and that's what I teach about is these different ways you make money, because that's what a business model is. It's a model in which you're able to understand the income, the process, and the result of how you make money.
Right.
The way they broke it down, bro.
Yeah, because he
It
did mention it.
Yeah, he mentioned it in multiple ways. So for you, now you can't give no details. Don't give no details, but were you noticing different ways that you could use different models, business models in the barbering space? Like how you do, like he specifically talked about different types of offers that you could
Mm-hmm.
create, which fit different types of models, business models that you could have. Did you see yourself in that?
Yeah. So it's basically like you can use all three, but just in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, you could use all three, but I'm talking about even deeper than mine, right? Like this was deeper than mine. Okay, I'm not going. I can't say too much, bro.
Nah, you can't give out too much
I
because we
can't
want people
give.
to sign up for the next challenge.
If you care about your business and you want to just understand some strategies that give you an advantage as a barber against, and I shouldn't say against because it's really not against any other barbers. It's the advantage that you're able to present for your clients to stick with you. Like if you want that, this was very good because it's going to teach you about client retention in different ways that you would not have expected.
Mm-hmm.
So business models was a good day. What do you have on day 3?
Day three was the critical areas of business. So, what was your take from the critical areas of business?
So for me, hey man, you got to talk. You got to talk. But I know I'm really passionate, so you kind of like giving me that liberty to kind of get out some of my thoughts, and I appreciate that. So the critical areas of business, I realized that even though that I have some business experience, I have like even thinking in a business space,
Mm-hmm.
there were some areas that I did not give honor to as much as I should have. There were some steps inside of a client's experience to give me money that I wasn't giving enough attention to. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I appreciated the critical areas of business day, because it really helped me to understand like, okay, so if this is what I'm trying to offer my clients, if this is what I'm trying to make sure that they get to, this is the result that I want them to have, then am I doing all of these points in a way that allows them to see the value in what I'm giving them?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many different times that we just get stuck in thinking that the work that we do is
Mm-hmm.
going to be the everything. It's going to be the marketing piece, it's going to be the sales piece, it's going to be the attraction piece, like everything, like, oh, and then that nugget between the difference between advertising and marketing. Okay.
Yeah, it's
But
so much more to like what we do is so much more to business than just doing a great haircut. Like there's so much stuff that you have to work on outside of the business as well to, you know, to ensure that you're bringing clients and customers back to you, you know, to build your brand. And
absolutely.
I would like to say on day 4 that we talked about the power of systems and just understanding like you have to have systems in place in order to operate like a real business. And I know for me personally, I didn't have a system. I thought I did,
Yeah. Your
but it
booking
was
platform was your system.
yeah, that was my system. It was the booking platform plus me winging it off of said experience. But actually organizing and putting together a system so that your business runs like a business. Like
Yeah.
that was totally key. And that's some stuff that you had been talking to me about in the previous years, but we just got more insight on it,
Yeah.
during that
Yeah.
challenge.
I liked the emphasis or the strength that they spoke about the importance of automation.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you are really trying to be a business, the business there's like steps to the business,
Mm-hmm.
and where you're doing a lot of labor is not the business itself. Like where you're doing like a lot of the work, that's not
Mm-hmm.
the business itself. You're supposed to create systems that allow your ability to just come to work possible, right? You're supposed to it, and that's why you got to go in the challenge to really understand the way that they put it. Like we could say what we want to say here on
Yeah, we
this.
ain't doing it no
We're
justice.
not doing it
It's so
justice.
much details.
Yeah,
Like it's so much details into each day. Like just what we was able to receive in the 2 hours, for each day. Like, man, it was priceless. Definitely life changing
yeah,
because it changed my mindset on business. It changed my mindset about money. It changed my mindset about structure, having proper structure. It's just, I don't know. It was a life changing experience, and I would highly recommend, if you are an entrepreneur, please, please listen to us. Sign up for the challenge the next time they have one. We're going to drop the link in the description below.
yeah. And the last day was it piggyback on what you just said was if you want to be a business, you have to act like a business. Like you really
Hmm.
have to understand what that is. And I think the way that he put it was you have to act you have to act like a business, because if you don't act like a business, people won't be able to see you as that,
Hmm.
right? And what it was crazy because the way that he said it, it sounded like he was saying that you are a business. But when you listen to what he wasn't saying that you are a business. He was saying that you have a business and
Mm.
you want that business to operate on its
As a
own,
business.
and then you work in it when you have to. Like you
Hmm.
work in it and then you work on it. There's two different
Hmm.
things.
Right.
But we as barbers and beauty professionals, we really do get stuck thinking that the labor of the services that we provide is the business. Like if we can do that better, if we can grow this more, then we have the business. But it was a really subtle change in how I hope all of us are able to see it. And I remember you posted this clip, and I hope you just give the people a little bit to see it. But you were speaking about how we are a business and how if we don't see ourselves the right way, then other people won't see it. But let me let you play the video.
How you see yourself is important because however you see you is also how others see you. For example, I'm in the barbering industry. So if I see myself as just a barber, then also will my clients and future customers see me as just a barber. But if I see myself as a business, then clients, customers, they will all begin to respect me and treat me like a business.
All right. So the thing that I wanted to ask you, D,
Mm-hmm.
is based on the information that we heard in this program. When you think about In and Out,
Mm-hmm.
let's use In and Out. Who owns that?
You don't know.
What is the business though?
It's a fast food chain.
Right. It's a fast food chain, but the business is them taking orders, people being in the line, and how they treat people in that space.
Mm-hmm.
It's them getting the fries to a person hot. Like that's the business. That's how they're making their money. But you don't know the owner.
Nope.
And not that you need to know the owner or that you don't need to know the owner, but the owner is not the business.
You
right?
have to separate the two.
You got to separate the two. That's my point. And if we as barbers don't realize that we are not the business, like we're not the business. I do work in this business, but I am not the business. When I get off and I'm done, I should be able to disconnect from this role that I'm in as the
Hmm.
barber, and now I'm the owner, right? Now I'm the owner, and us as entrepreneurs, we literally have to wear multiple hats,
Yeah.
but we have to see ourselves wearing multiple hats versus all of the hats are on us, if that makes
Right.
sense. Like we have to put one hat on and take that hat off when it's time.
Right.
Because I mean, you've experienced this, man. People coming up to you while you having time with your wife or whatever, say, "Hey, man, can I book an appointment?" Bro, stop that. I'm eating. You know, like
Yep.
there has to be a sense of barrier and a sense of respect. But if we never take the position of a business owner, then we'll always be the worker.
Yep.
You know what I
And
mean?
you
We'll
and you
always be
never
the worker.
work in you never work on the business because you're too stuck working in the business
Yeah.
that you can't see yourself outside of the business.
Yeah, you don't separate yourself. And that I think is probably one of the biggest keys, because I think for me that is one of the biggest mental traps that we have in this industry, is we don't know how to separate the work from the business. And this challenge really exposes you to being able to see the difference between what is work, what is business, what is labor, what are systems,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? It shows you those differences, and then you're able to see how to apply it to your specific business. How at what you're doing. Are you in a quantity model where you're focused on getting walk-ins, and you're focused on getting as many people in as possible? There's business models for that model. Then you can have the quality model where you're focusing on your time a little bit more and providing a higher quality service so that you can reap more money for the specific service that you're providing. And there's business models for that. Like there's things
Hmm.
that you can incorporate in that model. Then you can be in experience based business models where you're focused on each aspect that a person touches your business, and you're providing value at each of these points. And there's business models for even that, how to maximize your income in that space. So if you are a barber, a beauty professional, I know I talked a lot this episode. I'm kind of sorry, but I'm kind of not. It's a
He not
passion of
sorry.
mine. I am a little bit, but it's I'm not as sorry as what I would have been if I did not invest in business and understanding it and trying to take myself further than what I have been, and always trying to get to another level of barbering for myself. If I never did that, I would be more sorry than I am by trying to share what has impacted my life and changed the income results that I'm having to this day. So D, I don't want to belabor the point, man. Go ahead. You can do what you want to do right now.
Yeah, no, I just want to piggyback and say, man, like, um, with the challenge, it enabled us to become better individually for our business, but it also helps us to become better for the client that we're speaking to. You know, the customer that we're trying to reach. And you can't do that if you don't invest in yourself. You can't if you're in business, you're an entrepreneur, and you feel like you know it all. Well, okay, even the people at the top invest further into their education and their business. So that's all I got for this episode. This is the Prince with my co-host Bradford Kelly of Another Level of Barbering. This is the Elevated Barbers Podcast. We out.
It's time to level up.
Peace.